Welcome to Market Talk. I'm Amber Lancaster here with Paul Mampilly. Today's update is for the week of January 6, 2020. I'll begin by previewing the big economic releases, my innovation story of the week, and my good news roundup. Then we'll hear from Paul. So let's begin. The latest U.S. construction spending reading came in strong for November. Total construction spending popped higher to 0.6% following a revised positive October reading. In all, the latest construction spending number beat estimates. Single-family homes saw the best move as demand for new housing gained momentum, all while U.S. government public construction spending saw the biggest, and so a boost as well, where federal and state level construction spending is concerned. Meanwhile, the latest reading in the Bloomberg Consumer Comfort Index rose to a 5-month high based on positive views of the U.S. economy. This index follows consumers' feelings about the state of the U.S. economy and their take on their personal finances. The latest index reading reveals that U.S. positive sentiment and comfort among consumers with incomes from $75,000 to $100,000 per year hit a record, and quote, comfort readings for those 65 and older, college graduates, homeowners, and those who are not employed were all at the highest level since the year 2000, a near 20-year high. So where this week's economic releases are concerned, there will be 5 major releases, as you can see in this table. On Tuesday, November's trade balance will post at 8:30 a.m. And at 10 a.m., November's final demand for durable goods orders and November's factory orders will post. On Friday, the December jobs report will post at 8:30 a.m. And wholesale inventories month-over-month final print for November will post at 10 a.m. Now, for my innovation story of the week, the 2020 Consumer Electronics Show kicks off in Las Vegas this week. And as a registered CES insider, my email inbox is absolutely filled to the brim with the behind-the-scenes insights of what new technological innovation and products consumers can expect to see in 2020. So I thought for this week's Market Talk, that I give you a taste of what CES has in store for you. So first up, get ready for 3D printed motorcycles. Dynamism, a leader in tech and 3D printing solutions for more than 20 years, will debut its most exciting 3D printers yet at CES. Their first printer, the desktop metal fiber prints, products 2 times stronger than steel, but weighs lighter than aluminum. This printer brings automated fiber placement technology, once reserved for multi-million-dollar machines, to a desktop format at an affordable price, thus making 3D printing more mainstream than ever before. Their second printer can print a fully 3D printed motorcycle and is touted as the potential future for additive manufacturing in automotives. So the bike is called the Nero e-bike and is printed on their Big Rep 3D printer. Quote, over the past few years, additive manufacturing has continued to test the bounds of what can be 3D printed. The Nero e-bike, as seen in this photo, was printed in 15 parts on the Big Rep 3D printers and includes an airless tires, rims, shocks, steering, and more. So as you know, Paul is forecasting 2020 to be the year of industrial technology innovation, especially in 3D printing, and these industrial printing innovations are proving him correct. So now for our good news roundup. Good news roundup story number 1. Science Daily is reporting that scientists have developed, quote, a new gene therapy technique by transforming human cells into mass producers of tiny nano-sized particles full of genetic material, end quote, and that has the potential to reverse disease processes seen in brain tumors, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease. Good news roundup story number 2, per Housing Wire, U.S. mortgage rates have started 2020 well below last year's average. The average U.S. fixed rate for 30-year mortgage, well, it slid to 3.72%. Good news story roundup number 3, also per Housing Wire, quote, foreclosure starts are now at the lowest level of the millennium. According to a new report from Black Knight, November's foreclosure starts, well, they marked a 26% decline from last year's total. So this is the lowest monthly volume since Black Knight began recording the metric in 2000. Nationally, the foreclosure rate fell 3% from October, hitting its lowest level since 2005, end quote. So that's it for me this week. Paul, please tell us what you are watching.
Some great stuff in there, Amber.
Thank you.
I have to ask, Amber, do you ride a motorbike?
I do not. I have family members who are motorcycle enthusiasts, and I have ridden with my uncle on his bike, but that's it for me. I'm a tandem rider, not by my lonesome.
Oh, because the stuff about the motorbike, that's pretty amazing. If actually any of you who are watching are out there at CES, send us an email. Tell us what caught your fancy, because we're interested in knowing. And I was actually at a board game party this weekend, and I sat down with somebody that's a 3D printing expert. And I can tell you, Amber, our world is about to be transformed, completely and utterly transformed. I just sat listening, and she was telling me how they make parts that are, just massive, just extraordinarily massive. Put it together, it is certainly, absolutely, certainly the future. However, I'm jumping the gun here. Let's deal with really what people have been very focused on, at least if you go on the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Market Watch, which is the assassination of Soleimani. I'm unclear what the exact pronunciation is. He was clearly a very high-level Iranian official that, according to the Trump administration and any number of security experts, that is responsible for a lot of bad stuff, just as a simple way of putting it. And so I've been on Twitter actually since it happened, and many people are very concerned. People have written in and said, hey, Paul, is this it? Will the bull market end because of this? And so I want to answer that today. And I can tell you that from my vast experience, I've never seen a geopolitical event actually shift the direction of a market. For example, in 2001, we were already in a bear market when September 11th happened. It didn't alter the market, it didn't cause that bear market. And that's because in the way that we look at it, demand and supply for stock is what drives prices higher. However, just looking at it analytically, when you go and think about, people are worried that Iran is going to do something to cause, there was something trending on Twitter all weekend, was World War III. And I have to tell you that after looking at the facts and after looking at the data, there's really no possibility of it, because Iran is actually running out of money. Their economy is in near collapse. Oil production is at 10-year lows. Inflation is at 30%. Over the last 2 years, their GDP has declined by nearly 15%. This is not a country that is really capable of doing very much. They are really in the throes of near chaos at home, maintaining really just the integrity of their country. They're not really in a position to do anything. So the notion of them causing a World War III, or us even needing to go to war to weaken them or to do anything, I believe, based on the data, is very, very, very unlikely. And the other thing that I mentioned on Twitter is that when Iran was able to cause trouble in the 1970s, back then we needed the oil that came from the Middle East. Today, the number one producer of oil in the world is the United States of America. We produce more than enough oil. We no longer need the oil. And that means they have no leverage. They have no leverage, and there's too much oil in the world. Even after all of this, the oil price has increased by just only 5%. So bottom line is, I don't believe anything has changed. I am still bullish, optimistic, and positive for the markets. Now, the markets have gone up a great deal. However, just to understand, there's always ups and downs. There's no straight lines ever in the stock market. So you can't say, Paul, you said on so-and-so date, the market was going to go up and it's now whatever, 1%, 2% lower. There are going to be always be ups and downs any which way you cut it. And I'm going to say that, in fact, from everything that I'm seeing, I really believe we're setting up for an acceleration. Now, Amber hinted at it from what she was talking about in terms of industrial production. I really believe that the megatrends that we have been telling you about now for nearly 4 years, they are creating this Lollapalooza-like effect. In other words, where one development, one megatrend really is one on top of the other, where one accelerates the other, which accelerates the next. And I'm talking about the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, blockchain, precision medicine, new energy, fintech. I can go on and on and on and on. This, I believe, is creating the fourth industrial revolution, and it is happening right now. And I believe it is going to remake our country and then eventually the world. If you want more details on it, make sure to check into my Bold Profits Daily, and I'll be focusing on this tomorrow. Also, if you want companies that are laser focused on these kinds of opportunities, this kind of growth, then you should consider a subscription to my Extreme Fortune service, where we look to get you into companies that are at the ground level. In other words, when they are really small. It's kind of like buying Amazon years and years ago in 1995. These companies today are small. However, they have unbelievable, phenomenal, incredible potential, and they can just skyrocket higher. So if you're interested in those kinds of companies that participate in exactly what I'm mentioning, well, click on the strong hands above, and that will take you to a web page that will give you all the details that you need to find out about Extreme Fortunes, which is my service that gets you into these unbelievable, astonishing opportunities. Also want to mention, if you like the content on Monday or any of the other things we have on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and also comment below, what do you think is going to happen as a result of Iran? Finally, I also want to mention, I'm on Twitter all the time, tweeting at Mampilly Guru. So if you want updates on whether it be geopolitics, macroeconomics, the stock markets, follow me there. And with that, back to you, Amber.
Great insights as always, Paul. Thank you to our subscribers for tuning in today. And as Paul mentioned, please subscribe to his YouTube channel, the Paul Mampilly YouTube channel. If you do, you'll be alerted immediately once a new video is posted. So until next time, everyone, have a great week. Take care.